Something different for you today. Sat in the garden for a little change of scenery. Got my little friend Freddie here. And today I just, wanted to do something a little bit different and chime in on some of the inner work that I've been doing on myself and with clients that unlocked something for me, where I've been sort of in and out of the years of hustling and doing what I do. There has been seasons of misalignment, and I've read all the books like the $100 million offers and all of that. Scaled my agency to 12 people, burnt out, and did all of that. And then in the coaching and sort of mentorship space, I've identified a few little bits and pieces that felt misaligned and some that were really aligned, and realized that a lot of people make really crazy, big, non-believable or irresistible offers. And then they promise to work for free until you get the result, or they have some sort of case study because they've done something once with someone and they've milked it to the point of no return. But actually, what is going on is that misalignment. So I think there's two words that strike me above and beyond the results that somebody can claim, above and beyond the tactics, the sales strategies, and all that stuff that sort of gets them there. And those two words are conviction and alignment. So when it comes to conviction and alignment, conviction is the belief that what you are selling is going to work for another client because you've done that before. So you've got a system, you've got an offer, you've got whatever mechanism it is that you have. And you've developed that conviction because your system gets other people results. And in the process of getting other people results, your conviction goes higher and higher, right? So that is something that needs to be dialed down, that can be optimized, that can be thought upon, and then also iterated on, right? So the more results you get for a client, the higher that conviction is. And, whatever it is that you're doing is getting other people results. So you're only helping yourself build that confidence that you can get someone a result. Now, what happens with other people as they have had to move back in because we had some guests, but we were talking about conviction. So when it comes to conviction, you develop that conviction and you can go on and serve more and more of these clients, and life is good, right? But what ends up happening is the higher the result you get, the bigger the claim gets, and the more irresistible or non-believable it gets as you are building conviction. But the higher the number is, the bigger the promise, the less likely somebody will buy into that promise because it's no longer believable. And I've seen coaches, we're not going to name anyone, it's just evident out there. They might make themselves $1 million or $2 million a year, and then they claim they can get you the same result. And that's where things start going wrong, because conviction in them might be high that they can get a result for themselves, something I'll talk about in a minute, but they won't be able to get you that result. So upon my journey, when I was toying with my offer, because we're all sort of figuring things out as we go, right? I'm no expert myself. I just gain experience and share what I love with my community and my students and clients. I used to sort of tweak that and fell in that same trap, but I realized my comfort zone was getting someone to 10K a month. And when I was working with more and more students, I've served 250 clients over the last year and over 2,000 customers. But those clients, some of them would make 1 to 3 million a year. I've had other people get 32 million worth of investment, for example. And then the vast majority on average, though, was at that 10K a month. So I'm not going to sit here and make the claim that I can help someone have a 50, 60, 100K month when I've sort of dialed down my own conviction that I'm very comfortable with getting someone to 10K a month. So what I did was I scaled back and made that promise that felt really comfortable that the average student was getting with a much higher success rate. And then, when I was taking calls, people could sense how comfortable I was with that. But where it goes wrong is some of these coaches or mentors, for example, might have high levels of conviction. So you buy into it, but then they're unable to replicate that for themselves or for their clients. And that ends in churn and disappointment. Now, that thing can be worked by scaling back and making smaller promises that are easier to keep, both for you and for your clients, because it leads into the second step of what I want to talk about today, which is alignment. So alignment is what you are doing feels good with you, right? Like if that doesn't feel good, even though you're still getting results for your clients, you are then misaligned. Because when I started Modern Maker, my sort of mentorship program, we were doing sales calls because I was simply good at them when I ran my agency. I could sell websites and web apps for anything between 5 to 150K plus. So I was enjoying sales until I stopped enjoying it. Like I burnt out because I had so many. So conviction in teaching someone how to sell was very high, but misalignment started to creep up on myself. So therefore, I would close the deal and then I would dread delivering that deal, right? So any student I had, when I used to get sales call questions, I used to dread them, and that energetically bled through that experience that somebody else was having. So when I sort of scaled back and realized what feels truly aligned with the business I want to run, which in my world is writing emails, offers, and workshops, everything started to feel better because I would sign a client and then I had the conviction on one end and felt fully aligned with the delivery process. They would ask me a question, I was hungry to respond. They would have a problem, I was eager to help them sort of crack the puzzle and win. So at the core of it all, there's so many people that like either work with me or people that I know in the industry that might be running, for example, agencies with 20-man teams making $500,000 to $1 million a year in revenue, but the heart wants to swim in an ocean. The heart wants to take a break. The heart wants less, right? The heart wants family time, yet they're making all of that and they dread every single day. So even though money is high and conviction is high, misalignment is very low. So when they come to me, it's like we're scaling it back to something that feels easy, that feels in flow and helps them get to that next level, right? So if I were looking back, and giving you that insight, the funnels, the systems, the processes, all of that stuff is great. But if you manage to find an intersection between conviction in your model, in your system that gets results, and then find alignment that what you do is something fun, easy, and you love waking up to do it, that is a beautiful place to be. And no funnel, no strategy will be able to come close to that intersection, right? So I want to leave you with that today. And if you want to know or see how Modern Maker is run, I'll drop some of the details in the description below, and you can have a read and see if that sort of works for you. Because at the core of it, for me, the most beautiful thing to do is like put content out, be your true unapologetic self, and allow the person to judge whether this model works for them and the mentor or the coach is somebody they want to work with. And if they don't, happy days. And I think, in a world of these sort of sales bros and people that make irresistible offers, the world is looking for somebody truthful and authentic And I think amidst a sea of regurgitated noise, you can make an impact by finding your own intersection between conviction and alignment. More power to you. And this is the little lady here that was making noise in the video, but we love Sansi.